Oh, man. Wow.
From the dead.
Well, yeah, I just, since the last episode, it's like podcast that hasn't been alive. And so to start this episode,
Sure.
it's like,
I will say, we're wearing the same outfits as last week because these are just the best outfits we have. Just kidding. We're doubling up a little bit.
Back to back.
Pretty much all of April because I'm pretty much gone. Like all of May.
Yeah. So
wow. We're a little busy, so we're doubling up some episodes for you guys. But
the ending to the last episode is really funny because the camera shut off, and we hadn't really said bye or we're done. Yeah. We kind of did and we kind of didn't. So
if you noticed a fade out that felt random.
Yep.
That's why.
That's why.
But anyway, welcome to a new episode of Grown Up Kids. I'm Jesse.
I'm Seth.
And we're siblings. And you're listening to our podcast where we love to just talk about things we love.
How many episodes deep are we at this point?
This episode is brought to you by episode 39, I think.
Nice.
I think this is 39.
Let's go.
Because the last episode I edited was 37. So then, our last one we just recorded 38. This is 39.
This is so random and we don't have to actually talk about it. But that video on TikTok, I just happened to look at it yesterday.
2 million.
2 million.
We still get
that's absurd.
Tons of comments every single day.
Yeah,
tons of followers, tons of likes.
It's crazy.
Blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw some comment from somebody that was like, I ended up on your podcast because of that scary noise thing, and now I listen to your podcast. Yeah. I was like, what the frick?
Yeah, I've cut there's been a couple like that, and I'm always like, oh,
that's
sweet.
It's like a beautiful thing. Like, why? I have no idea why. Are we entertaining enough to listen to? I'm really not sure. But
I don't know, but I feel like people are telling us we are. So I'm like, okay.
Okay, cool. And if we said this from the beginning, if we have 2 listeners, and
it's just fun for us.
This is like, for us, we're a brother and sister that I'm 30, married, 3 kids, pretty busy job, busy life.
Yeah.
You are getting married this year. You just got back from living in California. Well, you've been back for a year, but just got back from living in California for 3 years, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So, for us, this is actually just opportunity to get together regularly and just talk and hang out. And yeah, we got some microphones in our hands, and maybe someday people will listen.
Into something, or if it helps any people.
But to be honest, it's really just us being intentional as brother and sister, to hang out.
Yeah,
and, you know.
I will say though that one of our pinned videos on TikTok is us talking about it's you talking about God still loves you even in a moment of sin.
Oh yeah.
And because of it being pinned, and because people go to our page and then watch some of the other videos, because we have that one with 2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few people go and watch that, and even there's been a lot of comments on it since the other video has gotten big.
Yeah.
And just the idea that people are getting access to that idea of just the love of God, or that your life is about joy and being loved.
Yeah.
And that makes you able to love really well. All that stuff, and it's not about sin or perfectionism or whatever.
Come on now.
Just makes me really happy. Even if yes, we're just doing it because we really enjoy being with each other and we want to just do this every week. But also it is a cool bonus that even just a handful of people are getting to hear that one idea, because you have no idea where that will go.
Yeah.
Where somebody will take that thought and what they will then go and try and discover.
I mean, it's the biblical principle that you see of we're one of the things that we have the ability to do is be faithful to obey what the Holy Spirit puts on our heart, and to plant a seed.
Yeah.
And God will use us to plant a seed, but then we actually aren't the ones responsible for that seed.
Yeah, it says He waters it and makes it
be watered. That's the Holy Spirit's role. And so, you're right. To be a part of maybe partnering with the Lord for some seeds to be planted, and then let Holy Spirit go to town and water that in people's lives, and bring people into their lives. Maybe it's this podcast, but maybe it's not, which is totally fine with us. Whatever that is, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
it
cool.
Is really cool.
Wow. I didn't really think about that, but you are very right.
Yeah. And even my future mother-in-law, Bobby, she
wonderful person.
I love her. But she always listens to that podcast, and she was talking about, she said this to me multiple times, how something I talked about in our first dating episode,
Which I don't
was
remember
like,
any details of.
I think our second episode or third episode.
Wow, it's crazy.
I talked just about like how we don't, like, I don't really think it's this thing where you're like praying and believing for like the one, and like it's more about like a decision that you make with the Holy Spirit and stuff. Anyway, whatever. She has said to me multiple times, it's just like come up randomly. She's like, oh, what you say in that episode is so good. Like, I wish I heard that when I was that age.
Wow,
like, I
that's
wish
cool.
that like when I was a teenager, I would have avoided so much. And
Yeah.
or like she said about like Josie, my like sister-in-law, or just like different girls that are around that age, just saying like, no, like I just need to send them that because that's like what they actually need to hear. And I've been
That's
like,
really
oh, that's
cool.
really cool to
That's
think about.
insane. Yeah. Wow.
Because it's not like I'm any sort of expert, like, but it's just like
Don't
cool
not know it. Yeah.
cool that-
watching my little sister just. What are you doing? I'm joking. That's
Except
actually
not.
It's actually the farthest thing from true. Yeah.
I literally didn't date anybody till Kaden, so.
I was just messing with you.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just like things like that are cool to think.
Yeah.
Really small, but you don't know where those things are like traveling to in a day to
Yeah,
day.
absolutely no clue.
So.
Which I guess like the whole concept here is like you really just when you just kind of live with that like Holy Spirit influence of like how you think and how you talk and how you act.
Yeah.
Whether you end up with a microphone in your hand on a podcast or whether you're at a, like in your own home interacting with a family member or you're in a class interacting with somebody that you go to school with or whatever, you're, at a grocery store interacting with the person that, ringing you up with the groceries. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like when you have these interactions or conversations or even just like little moments, like that can be a seed that is planted. Like you just lean in, you just lean in and love people the way God loves them. And naturally you'll get the opportunity to say things that you don't even realize how influential they could be. And then they are, and you're just like, what the frick? Like how'd that happen?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
For sure.
Crazy. So anyways, we love doing this.
We do.
Even if it gets nobody or if it gets everybody, we love doing it.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Well, I thought, oh wait, we should do song of the week really quick. Okay, song of the week. I'll go first this time because you went first last time, and boys rule and girls drool. So my song of the week is Glide. Now, bear with me because the name of these artists, one of them is Portugal the Man, but the other artist of this song, I believe how you would pronounce the artist name would be Naked, which is just a bit awkward, but it's Neiked.
Naked.
Instead of Naked, Neiked. Naked. Naked. That's why I feel like it's just naked. But like,
I guess NEI.
I went to their page and like I don't recognize the names of their other songs, but they got like 3.2 million monthly listeners, so like clearly they're pretty well known. It looks like it's two dudes, but like naked. Not to say two dudes are naked. Naked is a group or an artist that is made up of two dudes. Sorry, I'm meaning no disrespect to the group Naked. I really like your new song called Glide with Portugal the Man. It's my song of the week. I've been listening to it for days.
That's funny.
There it is.
My song of the week is not new.
It's not nude? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
That was good. It's Why Did It Have to Be Me by ABBA.
Nice. I don't love ABBA in general, but like
ABBA.
there's like moments where I hear the song and I'm like, oh, fun vibe.
Yeah.
And then there's other moments where I hear their songs and like I'm talking about the real popular ones, There's those most moments when I hear their songs where I'm just like, I don't really like this very much.
Yeah.
But it's like so popular and people love it.
There's a couple on the dance playlist. Wait, which ones do we have in there so far?
I think in certain moments like that.
Does Your Mother Know is a freaking bop of an ABBA song.
And I think like
it's
you're
a
on the
little
dance floor,
slightly lesser known one, but it's still pretty known.
I was listening to a little bit of the wedding dance playlist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Yeah, but I didn't know you listened to it.
Yeah, a few. I mean, like I recognize a lot of them.
Did you listen all the way through?
Okay.
No. Cool.
Not yet, anyways. I'll get there.
Gotcha.
I feel like especially through the
any
summer
initial
months.
Thoughts?
Yeah, it's sick.
Okay, good.
I think especially through the summer months leading up till September, like my wedding is, like I'll definitely be jamming.
It's gonna be so
Because then when you're on the dance floor, you just want to be able to sing and jump and dance and laugh.
I'm so excited. I keep
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
Kaden, like it's really strange because it's like I have seen so many people get married or been involved in so many weddings,
Yeah.
and then especially like from like filming and taking photos and stuff too. So then to imagine, like, I understand we're planning this event and like it's our wedding, but it doesn't feel like it is. But then I think through the idea that, oh, like I'm gonna be walking down the aisle and like everybody's gonna be watching us and everybody's gonna be talking, like the speeches are gonna be about us and like that is so I can't wrap my mind around it.
Bizarre.
It doesn't feel like it's a real thing that's gonna happen.
It is bizarre.
And I don't think it's going to feel like it's a real thing that's going to happen until it's happening.
Crazy.
Were you nervous on your wedding day?
No, I don't really get nervous.
Did you cry when Kiana walked down the aisle?
I don't
can't
think
remember.
I cried. I do just remember I may have teared up, but I don't remember.
But you guys also did a first look.
We did a first look, yeah.
Which we're doing as well.
I think for me, like my reaction to moments like that have less to do with crying, and I just smile. Like, you couldn't keep a smile off my face that day. Just
no, that's
beaming,
true.
you know.
Yeah.
So I don't remember crying on my wedding day, but
I feel like I don't remember seeing you cry.
Yeah. Kiana was telling me the other day. This is so off topic, by the way, but who cares? Kiana was telling me the other day that she's like, yeah, I rarely see you cry. Like, I was like, I don't know. That's so interesting to me because I feel like we've had conversations that have gotten like emotional, especially talking about like we've now had 3 of our grandparents pass away. One when you were 2.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a big one. And still talking about it sometimes is tough. I was 7, so I was really young, but
you were really close with her.
Yeah, like a lot of time spent in those early years. So, and then obviously like within the last 2 years, we've lost 2 grandparents, or like both on mom's side. Yep, grandpa and grandma. So I feel like even just conversations about them or anytime they come up, like I feel like I have. So when Kiana said that to me, I was like, wow, that's so interesting. But maybe it's just, maybe I feel like I've had more of those moments where I've been like alone or by myself. And so it feels like I actually do kind of cry decently often, especially for like a dude. But I think I find ways for that to happen when I'm pretty much alone or like nobody is aware.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah. I don't know how we got on that topic. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Or did I cry at my wedding?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I don't think so.
You guys wrote your own vows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I put them in the video.
That your remake video of our wedding video, you know, okay, so you know what's funny? Is like, as the years have progressed and you've made, did I tell you this? I don't know. As the years have progressed and you've just gotten better and better at video editing and making, I've had the thought a few different times where it was like, our video's dope, but I bet you she would kill it with our video nowadays. You know what I mean? But like, not about to ask you like, hey, will you redo our wedding video? Like, that's just kind of weird. And like, you have other things you're working on, and like the original video is sweet. And so the fact that you thought of that on your own and did that and then sent it to Kiana and I, like, we loved that. It was really cool.
I'm glad.
And it was also just like, and that's no shade to the past you that did that.
Oh, no,
like,
I know.
The current you is so much better than the past you at all your video stuff. And so this one was also just like a way higher quality too. It's just really cool. It was really dope.
Yeah. I've been trying to just like take old stuff and remake something out of it, because it's like, might as well just make myself get better. So
good practice.
And I was like, your guys' wedding video was like only on Facebook and like didn't even have audio in half of it, and I was like, okay, I gotta redo this.
That's so interesting that it didn't have audio for
it. Like took it out, I think, like copyright or something.
Yeah,
so I was like,
it only took them like 6-7 years to get around to that. Yeah.
I think it was the Hosier song.
Oh, yeah, wait, what? Yeah, what Hosier song?
It wasn't Cherry Wine, it was Freak.
That's not it.
I don't know why it like took me a second to laugh at that one. Like real people do.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. No, 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 no,
Mhm.
no. Yeah,
That just makes me think of your wedding.
No, it does actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We can switch topics after this.
Okay.
But Kate and I were trying to figure because you need so many song choices for your wedding day. Like
Yeah,
so
like-
many things require a song, especially for Kate and I, especially for me. Song playlist editing master. I was like, everything has to be the perfect song. Like it's got to be this like movie moment
Yeah, I feel you.
where like it just all comes together.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, oh, we need to pick what song we're gonna play like for the first kiss, and then like leaving the like walking back down the aisle after the ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
And I started going through my playlist. The second song I hit, I was like, and I looked at Kate and he was like, we were like,
way.
no, this is so good. And we like hit it a couple times afterwards just to like see what it felt like. We're like, no, this is it. And we found it.
You can't tell me.
I don't want to because
Yeah.
I just feel like it'll be so much better if it's like
Dope.
a surprise.
What moment in the like wedding or reception was this song? So that when I get there and I'm experiencing, I'm like, ah, this is the one, you know?
Like the ceremony when, wait, is this what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the ceremony part, which Seth's doing our wedding. So you'll be right there when this happens.
Let's go.
And Ivy is doing all of the like sound and emceeing and DJing.
Oh, let's go.
So, like once you say like,
Husband and
wife, like you can kiss the bride and you have to move out of the way.
Yeah.
And then Ivy will hit the music. Ideally, like right when we kiss, because then it'll just, because I feel like it'd be weird to kiss and it's like
So it's
silent. Yeah.
Got it. Sorry. I'm just trying to imagine the way.
No, yeah, but you're dead right.
Got it.
Like, because I feel like it'd be weird to like have your first kiss and it's like silent.
I think what should happen is we should all get super quiet so we can
Just
hear
put
you
on
guys
mic.
just be like,
No, I know.
sorry. It's just I feel like Tim Robinson, like just vibes when even just imagining that.
So
Like, or just imagine like Tim Robinson officiating in a like a wedding sketch, and like when that happens, you may now kiss the bride, and then he's like right up in their faces, like do it, you know, whatever. I don't
No,
know.
he totally would. Yeah, but at that moment,
Nice.
this song plays, and it just worked so well, and it worked so well for like Kate, who Kate and I are, the vibe,
Fun.
everything.
I love that.
So I'm excited.
All right, well, I'm excited
Anyways.
to hear the song that happens when you guys start macking as husband and wife. That's cool.
Definitely,
so dope.
definitely not to that extreme.
Wow.
Not in front of everybody.
No, good point.
That'd just be awkward.
I messed with Kiana so much the other day. I was like, no, like we got to do like the whole thing.
Make out.
Just like tongue and everything.
Ah!
Like,
I can't imagine doing that in front of all my family. It'd be so awkward. Oh my gosh, it'd be horrible.
I just like the thought of like somebody doing that. You know, people have done it. Like,
Oh, I'm
I
sure.
don't think I can remember a time where I've seen it. And honestly, for someone that chooses to do that, no shade. Just do whatever that you feel like doing.
Yeah,
I just think it'd be really hilarious.
Yeah, it's a fine line because it's like you don't want to just be like ding, because then people will be like, "Do you even love each
Where's
other?"
the love? Yeah.
But it's like, ooh, if you go a little too long, people will be like, ooh, like bristling. They're like, ah. So I don't know, fine line.
Bristling,
but-
is that similar to grimacing?
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't know that word, so that's cool to
I
know.
don't remember what I just watched that used that word, but I was
All
like,
right.
okay,
Really quick.
yeah.
Okay. We are not spending more than like a minute to a minute and a half on
Oh
this.
no,
Can you just tell me?
I don't want to talk about adolescence.
Can you tell me what is okay? So here's just my thought with Adolescence. The way that it was filmed is insane. The acting is insane. It's so good.
Yeah.
I hated it, and the reason that I hated the show and watching the show is not because of the quality of the show
Yeah.
or the acting. To me, there was no story told. And what I'm saying by that is, like, okay, a crime is committed before the show.
Mhm.
Like episode 1 is like what happens immediately, the
Yeah.
cops are arresting somebody, blah blah blah. They're arresting the kid. I'm not actually watching any story unfold between any of the 4 episodes. I'm just watching people's emotional reactions to the story and to the
Yeah.
plot. And I get that, like, I understand, okay, emotions are telling a story, and, like, I get that, and that's fine. But to me, like, okay, we see D.I. Bascom in episode 1 just doing his job, really. In episode 2, we see him doing his job and being a father, and that's cool. We don't see him again. So, like, you didn't take me on a journey. There was no character arc with D.I. Bascom. There was no character arc with his son. Like, there wasn't anything. Was there something? Yes. Depth, 1 out of 10. We didn't have enough time to go anywhere. And I get part of that is the product of the episode is like you're watching a real-time 55 minutes or 60 minutes or whatever the episodes were. It's like I get it. But to me, like, and that was true for every character. Like the third episode, them just sitting in a room, crazy, like cool conversation. You're seeing how the kid can be like a kid, and then you're seeing how the kid can be like a psychopath. Like I get that.
Mhm.
But then like episode, but at the end of the day, like the whole episode is them sitting in a room talking. I felt asleep. I was so bored. Episode 4, they spend all that time in the car just chatting nonsense. Nonsense. They're not talking about anything. They're not talking about they do at moments, but mostly not. They're not talking about the story. They're they're literally talking about running to a store, painting a car, making breakfast, going to a movie, and they're like talking about it at length. There's no story there. So for me, was it cool the way they made it? Yes. Do I think it was a good show for the story? No, like not even close. And I know you disagree, and I want to hear what you say because even though I disagree with you, I'm sure, and you disagree with me, I still want to hear what you say.
Okay. I had a conversation at length with Caden about this last night, and I knew you were gonna bring it up today.
Yeah.
And I just think all your reasons are really silly, but I think it's an incredible story, and it's also very character driven. It's not plot heavy. And they've also talked about, like, the creators have said, like, it's not a who done it. Like, it's why and then the aftermath. Like, it's all about, like, also, the creator, it's the guy that plays the dad, and he wrote it because he read 2 separate articles of a young boy stabbing a young girl on opposite sides of the country, like, in the UK,
Mhm.
and or England or whatever, but and he was like, "Wow, that's really crazy, like, why is this happening so
Mhm.
much?
Mhm.
And, like, why are young men, like, just doing stuff like this to young girls? Like, what
Mhm.
is going on?"
Yeah, heard.
And so then he was like he wrote this story based on some of that stuff, but the whole point of, like, why they told it the way they did and the way it's formatted is because he's kind of asking the question, like, who's to blame? And, like, what do you do when something like that happens? Like, as a parent, it's like, do you feel guilty because, like, is it your fault? Or, like, do you not like are you afraid of your kid? Are you mad at your kid? Do you love your kid? Is it your fault that your kid's like this? Like, what do you even do with that? And then, like, what does your family do to move on afterwards when, like, your son murdered somebody? And, like, how as a parent do you, like, process, like, where did I go wrong to where that like, my kid, like, what belief did he think that, like, that was okay? Because even in the episode where he's talking to the psychologist, he says, like, "Well, I didn't touch her, like,
Yeah,
other
he's just
boys would have touched her," and, like,
yeah, he's
he's
lying.
be he well, no, he's not lying right there. He's admitting that he did it, because then right after that, he freaks out because he basically, like, just admitted that he did do it. But in his head, he somehow, like, thinks that he's better than most guys because he did kill her, but he didn't touch her afterwards, and most
Oh,
guys
you
would
mean
have
like
touched her.
you mean like mess with her
Yeah,
body.
yeah, yeah.
Got it.
And so, like, the whole thing is about, like, the way that men are being brought up to view women, and, like, even the whole scene that he's talking to the psychologist, he thinks, like, "I have power over her." Like, "She's not allowed to say this to me. I'm allowed to, like, tell her to do this and this and this." And, like, they're showing, like, his internal struggle of, like, being brought up to view women as somebody that you can control. And the fact that, like, you could, or, like, you do or don't use that power in a negative way is the measure of, like, what kind of man you are. And then, like, I think the whole thing with D.I. Bascom and his son is kind of just, like, another indication of, like, as a parent, like, how do you live your life as a parent, and do your do your job, and, like, what responsibilities do you take on or not take on. I also think, yes, they probably could have done more with that, but also I do agree with what you're saying in terms of, like, it kind of went nowhere, but I think part of that's because it's the way they're showing it is real time. It's 55 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
But I do think it lended to, like, his son then eventually did help him with the case and, like, explained all that stuff about social media that the dad just didn't understand because he's a different generation that didn't grow up with that kind of stuff. And so I think they used that to show, like, the generational gap between, like, what boys are learning about girls now and how they process things versus, like, what their generation and, like, the dads would be learning about, like, what they grew up thinking about women and how it's different. Because the dad would, like, viewed all those comments and all that the things on social media way different than the son told him it was, because they just, like, there's such a disconnect between, like, the culture and the language of social media, even for, like, young Gen Z versus, like, older Gen Z, or young Gen Z versus millennials. Like,
Mhm.
what someone comments means something super different based on, like, who you are and what kind of the language within that culture you understand. Like,
Mm.
even as silly as, like, down to, like, the emojis and stuff like they were
Right.
saying.
Right.
So I think they use that more as, like, a tool to show some of the gaps, but I think it's very emotionally driven, and I think especially, like, that last episode, like, the dad really is the main character. Like,
Yeah,
and I
for
think
sure.
they're showing, like, all those kind of, like, the scenes that seem like not much is happening, like, they're just talking about real things because, like, that's real life, and they're trying to figure out, like, okay, like, our son did murder somebody. Our son's gonna go to jail, like, or he's gonna whatever's gonna happen. And, like, it's my birthday. Somebody just, like, wrote this thing on my truck. Like, I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to keep my life together. I'm trying to keep what family left I do have together. Figure out, like, was this my fault in the first place? Move on and still, like, enjoy my wife and my daughter, love my son and not, like, condemn him, but also, like, should I feel condemned because, like, my son did kill somebody, and, like, I know that he did, and, like,
Yeah.
I didn't even react well when I found out, and, like,
Yeah.
just dealing with all the emotions, and, like, it is real life. Like, somebody dies or
No doubt.
something, like, you get in the car, you go to their funeral, and, like, you still sing songs in the car. You still, like, we drove to grandma's funeral. It's like, you're still interacting with Maisie and Jude and Oliver and Kiana like you normally would. Like, you're still playing games and having fun, like, while you're waiting for this thing. So I think that's kinda what that all was, of just showing, like, yeah, life
Mhm.
still goes on. You're still having to process and figure it out and, like, do stuff, but there is all these other things going on in the background of, like, what have I created? Did I even create this? Like, was it my fault? Because they also talked about the creator is, like, the reason why it's, like, the psychologist, the police officer, the teachers in the school, like, the students, is because he was kinda making the point of, like, who is responsible? Like, is it the parents? The school systems and what we're teaching them have a part to play? Does, like, our justice system and, like, how that operates have a part to play in, like, what young men are learning and stuff like that? Like, all these different things, like, do all of them factor into, like, the kids that we're creating? Or is it purely just the parents? Or is it purely just what they're learning at school? Is it
Yeah.
just social media? Like,
Yeah.
he was kind of trying to bring it all together to say, like, it's really like nobody's fault and everybody's fault kind of at the same time.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
personally, I think it's fantastic. Like I truly think it's amazing. I also think it's rare to watch something where you can tell that every person that was involved cared so deeply about what they were making. And I felt it in watching the show. It was very evident that everyone was so locked in. Like every actor, the
For
fact
sure.
that like they were all in it, the camera crew, every interview I've seen of the creator and any of the cast, like post watching the show, you can just tell they really cared so deeply, which
Yeah.
I think makes a show. Like for
Mhm.
people to really be like putting their everything into it and they believe in what they're making. It's not just like a dumb Netflix movie full of like A-list actors that tanks, but it's everybody watches it because there's a bunch of famous people in it and it's like an entertaining quote unquote script. Like a show where people actually care, there's so much thought put into it.
Yeah.
Like
I get
that's
that.
where I'm like, that's a good show.
I get that. Yeah. I think it's just I think and this is kinda where we were with Severance, but I didn't I wasn't bored with Severance, and I didn't dislike Severance in the
Yeah.
slightest.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it and liked it a lot and all that, but, like, this kinda where we were with Severance with some of the differences in our opinions is, like and I think maybe it's because you went to film school, because I don't think you really thought fully this way before that. Not on the same
Not on the
level,
same
maybe the
level.
depth,
I definitely just
but
learned so much more about story that I think, like, when it comes to story and humans and humanity and, like, how you craft something like that, I definitely have a deeper appreciation for just not the, like, entertaining movies.
yeah, and I don't, like and
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine
That's what
with
I said to
that.
Caden last night. I was like, "I think Seth and I are always gonna disagree on this kinda stuff because"
No, I don't think always.
well, pretty much most of this kind of thing, unless it's like a big blockbuster, entertaining type movie, I think we are probably gonna disagree.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
yeah, which I was saying to Caden, I think it's interesting though because in your life, you aren't like plot heavy. You are emotional, character driven. Like you love being with people, you love interactions with people, you love like the little things they do and say. You really just enjoy like being around humans and having fun with them and like experiencing life with them. And you don't like being involved in drama and situations
Right,
and like that kind of stuff.
right.
So it's funny to me that then, like, when it comes to entertainment or things that you're taking in, you are very like, I'm there for the plot and the entertainment and
Mhm.
like the craziness.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think, like, if I'm gonna take my time to watch something like that if I'm taking my time to watch something, that means I'm not with someone in that moment, like, necessarily on, like, a more intense level, like, relationally or whatever.
Yeah.
And so if I'm gonna take the time to watch something, like, that has to do something different for me than normal life and interacting with people.
Which got I mean, like, that does make sense.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I just like Severance was phenomenal, but, like, I need more story. You're not giving me enough story. I need you to I don't even mind things that are slow, like, in theory. I've watched plenty of things that are slow, and I like them a lot, and I like Severance a lot, but I do need more plot. Like, Adolescence, every point that you made was so valid. You're right. It's, like, not plot heavy. There is nothing to figure out in terms of the like, what happened or
Mhm.
who did it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all just, like, thought evoking in that sense,
Mhm.
but, like, for me, that's just not enough. Like, I think the reason that I love Tenet so much,
Mhm.
as a great example, is the plot, the story is so intense. And like that's something that we totally agree on, like loving that movie.
Yeah.
And you might even have some reasons that you love it that are even different than the reasons
Mm.
that I love it. And I think it does do some of that emotional stuff or like
Yeah.
whatever. But like Tenet is like I can sit down, I get enough story, I get enough answers, and then there's still some things that are left up to like, yo, these are questions or whatever
Mhm.
and like thinking about it or like talking about it, engaging like socially about it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
But like with Tenet, like all the little details are like feeding into the plot and like, it's very plot heavy. It is a massive story. It's not leaving anything desired in that sense. So,
Mhm.
like, or like even, the Oceans movies, the Bourne movies, Mission Impossible, like, Fast and Furious, Star Wars, Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings, Harry Potter, like all these things, like they're so story heavy. And like when a character is introduced, that character, they're gonna take me on a story with that character for the most part, like all the main ones and
Mhm.
even some of the side ones. Like I'm gonna get a story of that character. I'm gonna get time with that character, yada yada. With something like Adolescence, like, and it's just, I think it's just a product of, it was 4 episodes. It wasn't the point of the show. It wasn't the goal of the show, which is totally fine. And I think they did a phenomenal job at doing what they set out to do.
Mhm.
Like that dude, he was great. The
Yeah.
acting was insanely good. Like,
Yeah,
oh
so
my
good. The kid
gosh.
never acted in
No,
anything
that's
before.
crazy. It's
Yeah, isn't
crazy.
that wild?
And I've watched multiple videos of like making of or like them talking about it or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
And just really intense, like so cool. I just, from a preference perspective, like there's no story there.
The
So
thing is that you're saying there's no story. There is, though. I think what you're actually talking about is not story.
no,
You're talking about, like, beats, like, plot points being, like, accomplished and hit in a movie.
sure.
Because almost everything else that you just named is, like, the beats that you have to hit in a movie are, like, really explicitly hit in all of those things. Star Wars, Harry Potter, Fast and Furious, Mission Impossible. Like, you're watching the person come up against a thing, you're watching them get through it, even physically.
Dune.
Like, yeah, all of those are super, like, you're watching it all go down. There's no, like, background. There is background emotion, but it's all pretty, like, in your face. You see everything going on. The other things that you're naming all have so much story. So much story. And it's super story heavy. It's just in the background.
Yeah,
And
it's like
it's
the story is not the plot. The story is like the emotions, I guess.
yes, but that doesn't mean there's not story or it's not story heavy.
Right, like, okay, so Severance, there's like, you're watching things go down. There are like plot points or whatever. Like there is that stuff, but there's just not enough of it for me to like love the show. I think the show is so good.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is you're saying there's not
Adolescence,
a
there's like no plot points. Like what?
but there is. It's all like characters shift slightly in how they're talking, how they're thinking, the lighting, the camera, like all these subtle things
Okay, but lighting and
where
camera is
like
not plot. It
no,
can add to a plot, but that's not plot
but
to me. To me, and I know it's a
that's what I'm
perspective.
saying is to you. And what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
the
it's
point I'm trying
perspective.
to make,
It's not factual either way.
but like when you study film, it is because the point you're trying to make is not story.
Well, it's all subjective to the
It's
viewer.
to an extent, but there is like a science to it. And there is like people study it, people have degrees in it, people have created it for thousands
And
or
I
for
get
hundreds of
that.
years,
But just
100
because
years,
people
whatever.
have studied it for a long time and it's all
All
like
I'm
got these
trying to make
definitions doesn't mean they're more right than me in this sense.
it does, but all I'm
It
trying to
doesn't.
say is that the things that you enjoy are like they're physical manifestations of story happening before your eyes. And if it's not that way, you think there's no story, but there is a story because there's a story in the way somebody is quiet, and there's a story in the way that somebody makes a decision. There's a story in the way that a person chooses to say a certain thing instead of like shooting somebody or like
Yeah.
there's a story in the way that
I
a
would agree with all
camera
of these things that you're saying.
follows like the light instead of the subject because it tells a certain thing. Like all of that is the kind of stuff that was happening in the things that were being made, like the choices being
Yeah.
made in adolescence. Like
I'm just saying, I guess my point is, and again,
it's gonna,
neither one is factual, but the point that I'm making is, to me, those things don't do enough to tell the story on its own. Those can be small things that add to a story that you're telling. And this is preference. I'm not saying this is factual. This is preference. But to me, the story has to be more than those little things.
but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you want it that way,
Right.
which means you are only really gonna be entertained by the high intensity, fast paced blockbuster movies.
Not true, but okay.
For the most part, though.
No, that's not true. But okay. I love plenty of movies that aren't fast-paced blockbuster movies.
Okay. Name some.
Which you know that. What do you mean?
Like, you don't enjoy the movies that are like, you don't enjoy La La Land. Like, you don't
I
enjoy.
enjoyed the whole movie until just what they chose for the ending.
Yeah, but okay.
And I just didn't
Yeah.
like how I felt at the end, so I'll never watch it again. But it was a
Yeah.
great
But
movie,
I like
except for how they resolved the story. So sad.
yeah,
Pissed me
I
off.
don't know. I just think you enjoy things where, like, you're hitting certain points in the story and it's very explicit. If it's a little bit subtle or it's hidden or it's told through lighting and design or it's told through, like, more nuanced stuff, you don't enjoy it. You think it's boring.
I think the ending part of what you said is true, where it's like if it's told through, like, lighting and design.
That's just 2 examples. I'm basically saying anything except, like, it being told directly to you.
Yeah, and that's where I would actually disagree with you. I love plenty of movies and shows that have, like, a lot of subtlety, and it's like reading between the lines, and, like, I have my whole life. But it's when I think, like, I want the meat of even the subtlety. If the subtlety or the cleverness or whatever is in if that's baked into the script slash just the things that are happening, then sweet. If it's all baked into lighting and design or the background music and that's like the main places that those things are baked into,
But that's not what I'm saying.
I'm not really into it.
Like, okay, Adolescence. So much of the nuance is baked into just purely the characters, the way that they're acting, the things that they're
Yeah, but
saying.
what script or like what story? What plot? The whole story is already done. He murdered a girl.
Yeah,
He's
but
in
that's
jail.
but
The
I
family's coping. There's not the plot is done. Like the plot is done before before the story's even told, this has happened. So
yeah,
we get to see you get booked for something that already happened. There's no question marks there. We get to see him just interviewing people trying to find out why this kid did it. There's no question marks there. Like, that's that. Then we see him sit in a interview with a psychologist. There's no like you already did it. Like
but that's my
like you
point, is
yeah.
you only want the plot. You only want the question. There's so many good stories and movies that have nothing to do with the question. They're about, like, how a person experiences something, how a person processes something, how a person learned and got there to the what in the first place. And
Yeah,
that's what Adolescence is telling.
I think I guess what I would say is what I hear you saying is you have a superior and I have an inferior view of movies or shows because I, across the board, need blatant, in your face storytelling. And I don't like or appreciate anything that's subtle. And like, you're just wrong, but it's fine.
That's not what I'm saying overarching, but
It's
all
what
the
you're saying.
no, it's not. All
Okay.
the examples, though, that we've gone through, that kind of is true.
There you go. That is what you're saying.
I'm not saying you never do, and I'm not saying you never enjoy something that's like, you don't pick up on nuance. I think you can. I just don't think you enjoy a lot of the things that are more subtle. Like, there's so many movies that I could tell you right now that you wouldn't like, but you haven't watched them. You wouldn't watch them because they're not a big plot. It's like 2 people walking around, but I see it as incredibly story heavy
Mm,
because it's 2 people having a conversation, which is what we're doing. And people watch this all the time and they find it entertaining. Like,
yeah.
I think I personally, I'm not saying it's superior or inferior. I do think there is just factually and in a film world, like, there is certain things that are like an art. And most people that don't study it will never see it that way. That's fine. But like there are movies and films and things like that where like it's purely just a conversation, and I think that is so incredibly beautiful because so much of life is that way. Like there's not always a big plot going on, there's not always a big drama going on, and I like watching shows and movies for some of that kind of stuff.
Got you.
I don't think you enjoy watching shows and movies for things that don't have like like that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you don't go to entertainment for that kind of stuff, where
that I agree
I
with.
do. I
That I
do
agree with.
enjoy that kind of thing. I enjoy where it is really just, like, about somebody's inner world or their emotions, and, like, not much is happening and you fill in a lot, or you just get to see 2 people's, like, weird interactions. Like, I love that kind of stuff because it feels like real life, where I
Mm,
think you don't like things that are just a little bit more real life-like because it's not as entertaining,
yeah.
right?
I feel like that description of what you just said is very different from a lot of the things you were saying before that. Very different.
Okay, well,
And
that's
I
what I
would
was
ag
trying to get
and I
to.
would agree with the things that you just said pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think it's not always the same across the board too.
Yes, I
Like
agree.
I think there are certain movies or shows that are kinda like that, not like I just to be perfectly honest, I can't think of any examples. But I think there's stuff that probably fits more in that category that I do enjoy or that I do like. Maybe it's because of maybe the first time I watched it, there was like, maybe I related to it in some way.
Mhm,
And so now when I watch it, because that my initial reaction was really positive, now when I watch it, like, they would continue to be positive.
mhm.
So I don't think it's across the board one way or the other.
Yeah,
But, like, I
I'd
get
agree.
that point right there that you just made, like, I would agree with that. Like, for the
That's
most
what I
part,
was
like,
trying to get to.
if I'm gonna take my time to watch a show or watch a movie, like, I wanna be my version of it because I get that it is different per person. It's totally fine. I mean, it would be weird if it was the same for every person.
Yeah,
So
that's why
I
there's so
want
many
my
movies.
version of it. I want to be pulled in and immersed in the story. I want to see I want to see like what happens. I want to see the progression of a story. When this happens, what's the next thing that happens because of this? Even if that next thing is an emotional response, then from that emotional response, take me somewhere else. Don't leave me on an emotional response or don't leave me on like this empty feeling reaction. Like for me, I want to be taken places, even if when you take me those places, you don't give me everything I need. And some of it I have to figure out on my own. Like that's really fun. Like I feel like for both of us, this is true. We're pretty clever people. Like you don't have to give me every context clue to figure out what's going on at all.
Yeah,
So like I don't mind if you leave some holes in the story and like leave some mystery, like that makes it fun. I really enjoy that. But like you got to be taking me somewhere. And so on a way lesser scale, since we've been using these two shows as an example, on a way lesser scale, Severance, because I do love the show and I feel like it has taken me places. It's just done it, I think, so slowly. And then when it does take you places and it's here and then it's here and then this character does this and then this character responds this way and then you know what I'm saying? The company responds this way, So it's taking you through something. So it's not devoid of that, but it's
mhm.
so vague and it's so chill that that's like my only frustration with the show. I don't have any other frustrations with the show because everything about it and how it's done is incredible.
Yeah,
Adolescence, the way that it's done is so incredible, but to me, my version of it, it's not taking me to this and then to this and then to this at all. And so it's like, or maybe it was like, well, you were about to, but then like the episode just ended or the show just ended. And I think that again, like I just think it's part of like you you have 55 minutes or 60 minutes where it's like one episode is one take. Like you can't just like keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of the point.
yeah,
And the point was to give you, I mean, everything that you said is like totally true and accurate and like insightful about the guy telling his story and like what he's doing and how he's like relating it to, um, like relating it to the way like young men are raised and like who's to blame. Is anyone to blame? No, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like all that. Like I think that's great. I'm just not entertained by leaving it there.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So
Yeah.
yeah, Adolescence. For me personally, I think someone should watch a making of and watch it behind the scenes so that you know how it was filmed because it was crazy. Also, watch episode 2 for like the last 7 minutes of it.
Just watch the whole show.
And other than that, you don't need to watch the show because it's just incredibly boring. Like you'll fall asleep.
Stop. That's so stupid. What a stupid thing to say.
Well, no, that's my recommendation to people, and then your recommendation to people is watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally fine with you saying. That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, what's your go-to snack? I'm joking. What's your go-to TV show right now? Adolescence. End of podcast.
Actually, though, my go-to TV show right now. Oh, new episodes just came out. $1 Million Secret. Have you started that?
No,
It's on
we'll probably
Netflix.
watch it eventually, but
It's pretty good. I actually like it a lot.
yeah. I think like I saw a bunch of people griping about it's a remake of the Fortune Hotel from back in the day, blah blah. I don't really care. Like
I don't know. I
reality
just
TV
watched
is
it and it
reality
was good.
TV and it's entertaining most of the time. In terms of reality competition shows, people are winning things or whatever.
Mhm.
Like for the most part, like I don't care if you're rehashing an old show. I don't care if it's the same show. Like what Survivor's in their 49th season right now, right?
8th.
Or 48th?
Yeah.
Okay, so and I think they already filmed 49, I think, because they're about to do 50. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, it's in Survivor 48 right now, and I started last night. I caught up through maybe 3 or 4 episodes last night.
Oh, okay.
But like I'll watch the 48th time of Survivor, 49th time. Don't care. It's legit every time.
I'll keep watching Survivor as long as they keep making it.
Big Brother, although it's not as good. The Challenge, which is the best one. Like they're all phenomenal. They're all amazing, and I will watch them all every season that they make.
Yeah, I really like.
So $1 Million Secret would be no different. I just haven't started it yet.
Yeah. What's your show right now?
I mean, we just finished Adolescence, so we're catching up on Survivor.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really know what else I'm watching, I guess.
What's your go-to snack?
Good question. I don't know. Ice cream.
Really?
I love ice cream.
Why do I feel like I didn't know that?
What do you mean?
Vanilla?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so boring.
Thanks. I mean, I wouldn't prefer vanilla over like plain vanilla over like chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream, which is vanilla ice cream with stuff in it.
Okay, yeah. That's what kind of that. Like what kind of ice cream? Chocolate chip cookie dough?
It's probably my favorite.
Or just like cookie dough?
Or like cookies and cream.
Ooh, cookies and cream is really good.
It's really good.
Cookies and cream shake at Chick-fil-A is top notch.
Let me tell you, pistachio flavored frozen yogurt is insane.
So good. I love pistachio.
The cake batter stuff that like it tastes like cake batter. I thought it was gonna be like, ooh, this is like too much.
It's actually good though.
It's so good.
It's
crazy.
better than cake.
It is better than cake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I typically don't
Maybe
really
want like
have
froyo
like
or
chocolate ice cream.
I
know,
love
right?
chocolate ice
Froyo.
cream.
It's been a long time since I've had froyo. I mean, that'd be kind of fun to do today. You know, I'll say, I would really like to do that today. Yeah. But yeah, ice cream. I guess I love chips too.
You are a chip guy. Chips and a drink.
Chips and a drink.
What drink?
You know.
The doctor?
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, but I thought you weren't even like really drinking.
I know, like I'm trying to stop, but then it is really difficult sometimes because I still think pop tastes really good, and I know it's like poison and it's bad for you, but then at the same time, like it's really good. And like without even trying to be healthy, like I'm not like an out of shape person or like whatever. I do have a desire to just like have be stronger and just have more longevity like as a dad. Like I'm 30, which is still so young. Praise the Lord. But I like want to be totally active and like fast and strong until I mean, I don't really actually have a number in mind until like forever. So So yeah, I know that I should stop drinking pop, but if you ask me like what's probably my favorite drink to drink, like I know that my response should be water, but like it's Dr. Pepper. What's your go-to drink?
I've said it before. You're gonna scoff.
Go ahead.
Coke Zero.
Nice. Just kidding. What's
I
your
don't know
go-to
why.
snack?
I like it so much better than normal Coke.
It's interesting, but I mean, I get it.
I
Some
don't know
people like
why,
Diet
like-
Coke, and I don't get that either.
I
but
like it. I don't love it as much as I love Coke Zero. But
people like it so much
Coke
that it
has
must be a thing.
weird aftertaste to me
It's good or bad?
that I don't enjoy that
Coke
Coke
Zero
Zero
doesn't
doesn't
have.
have for some reason. And so I
I
really like
almost
it.
said for some reason. I wish I would have followed through. Frick. What's your go-to snack?
Probably.
Oh shoot.
Oh, actually, probably
Popcorn?
popcorn. But also lately, I've been having yogurt with protein powder mixed into it. Just get a little extra protein,
Interesting.
and it's so good.
Nice. I do feel
Have,
like
fruit in it. And
I
stuff.
do feel like when we talk go-to snacks, like I did the same thing. There's a cold snack. Like sometimes
Yeah, you gotta have cold
want
and a-
something that is
yeah.
cold.
Gotta have
it's-
sweet and salty.
It's kind of like fresh or refreshing, or it's like it like feels like a shock to your mouth. Like sometimes I just want that
Mhm.
cold.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I have no desire for that, and it's like chips sound so good. So like popcorn,
Yeah.
yogurt. I get that.
Yeah.
Cold snack, warm snack. Not
Mhm.
warm, but like normal.
Yeah.
Next thing
But,
you know, we're
like-
gonna be microwaving our chips. Ooh, warm chips.
You know what? Candy though, I've really, really enjoyed lately, but I'm usually not a huge candy person. Nerd clusters.
Just kidding. I have
No,
no
but
idea.
those are the nerd gummy
No,
clusters.
they're really
They're
good.
fire.
That's another thing that like apparently the studies say that those things are like made of literal poison. Like they're just complete trash.
Why does poison taste so good? Those things are
So,
delicious.
No, that's such a real thought. I don't. Yeah, it's like apparently you know
Everything's poison nowadays.
Red 40 or the like I always think of Daddy Daycare.
Oh,
Yellow
yeah.
dye number 2.
Yeah.
Moto deck.
I just saw a thing though where a lady was kind of debunking some of that stuff where she was like, we all talk about how like Red 40 and all these things are banned in other countries. She was like, they're not. They just have a different name. And she was pointing them out. They have like literally the exact same like makeup and everything. They're just under a different name and they're in all the same stuff in other countries.
Interesting.
So I was
I
like,
didn't know that, but
okay, so we're really not doing that bad like in America.
yeah. It's just that
Or all the other countries are doing just as poorly as we are.
Red 40. Like maybe we should come up with a little bit more covert of a name for something, you know? Like,
yeah.
Or like
Literally sets off alarm bells when you say it.
yeah. I can't think of any other ingredients that sound like that, but
yeah.
Hydrochloroformophyll. I don't know. You know, it's like
Chloroform? Chlorophyll?
Hydro.
What's the one that like knocks you out? Chlorophyll? Chloroform knocks you out if you like put out the thing that they do in movies where they're like
All I know is that I don't want hydrogen peroxide in my Doritos. But like, if it is in there and it's been in there the whole time, just don't tell me because it's pretty good. So I actually don't love Doritos that much, but yeah.
I've never been a big Doritos person.
No, I actually would agree, except for the sweet spicy chili ones, the purple bag.
Those are really good. Caden likes those a lot.
And if they got propane in those things, just leave it. It's pretty good.
Just leave it.
Like it's fine.
I'll be fine.
I don't actually mean any of the things that I'm saying. Kiana's gonna listen to this and be like, I can't believe you. I don't mean any of it, but then at the same time, like the small part of me does mean it. Like,
yeah.
No,
but at this point is like, what can you eat? Like,
you can avoid it.
Some of it, yeah, but it's like even like you buy chicken from the store, you buy vegetables or fruit. They're like, well, those have certain things on them still, and like you buy organic, and they're like, well, doesn't really matter because it's probably produced at the same farm as that. Like everything. It's like at this point, it's like
Yeah.
Just ask the Holy Spirit and pray and hope for the best. Like,
But I mean, I get it because like you can teach your body to not want certain things anymore, and then you
yes,
can
yeah,
teach
yeah,
your
yeah.
body to
Like
want
not having like
good
as much
things more.
processed foods
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like
So
that.
it's like,
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah, it's really legit, and I get it. But then at the same time,
But like our system's just kind of screwed overall.
the system is jacked. But like, I'm not well versed on our Food and Drug Administration and the whole system in general, so like, I
Well,
can't really
it's
talk about it
kind of
with
changing
authority.
a lot right now. So
Yeah, well, there you go. What's the guy's
RFK.
name that's doing a lot?
RFK.
RFK. Yeah. I heard he's like is he like a politician? I'm just joking. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know if the humor always comes.
All
Dope, yo.
right. Well, like, what's your favorite?
Hobby?
Sure.
Watching movies. Fast and Furious, Lord of the Rings. Start. I'm just kidding.
Anything with a plot.
Anything with a plot.
Just start making fun of you for that.
I mean, you think silent rooms and changing lights is a plot. Like, I just don't get it, you know? Like, I don't get it. I feel like we can mess with each other a lot about this stuff now, and it's kind of just more fun than anything.
It still makes me annoyed, but yeah.
Yeah, just let it go, man. Just let it go.
Let it
go. Yeah. Let's see. Favorite hobby. I don't know. What's a hobby again?
Like a fun thing you do that's not work.
Games. I like
yeah,
games.
you love games.
Love games. Play some games. Pass the Pigs is a big one we've been playing with the kids lately. And Jude loves the matching game. Jude and Maisie have been doing this thing where they team up. So they're on one team and I'm on the other team. And they actually they have the ability to beat me in the matching game when they are on the same team.
Nice.
Yeah, which is cool.
Like just all the cards out you match?
Yeah, like they're 72 and they're like
Yeah,
little
you, like, flip 'em
squares and they're
over.
like kind of cardboard.
Yeah.
And yeah. No, it's super fun.
Nice.
It's a Spider-Man one. So it's like all
like Spidey and Friends or Spider-Man?
Spidey and Friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like all the different like characters, good guys, bad guys, the little logos, all that stuff on there's like 36 different matches.
Nice.
So as soon as someone gets to 19, they like win, because nobody else could get more than that.
Mm.
So today I had 16 and they had like 15. It was right before I came here. So all I needed to do was like get a couple matches, and they were trying so hard to beat me, and like, I mean, I literally knew all the rest of the matches that were on the board. Like, I could have just nailed them all, and I was like, all right, whatever. So I got
That's
it wrong
pretty
on purpose,
impressive.
and then they got 5 matches to finish off the board, and they beat me 20-16,
Wow.
and they were pretty happy about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I told myself I would never let them win, but then sometimes in the moment you're just like, I want to see the joy that you experience when,
Yeah.
And they still had to find the matches to beat me, and they did. So,
yeah.
games
Nice.
with the kids is really fun. Games with friends. Yeah, I like watching reality competition TV and movies with plots. So, yeah, movies with plots. Yeah. So, what's your go-to hobby? What's your go-to hobby? There we go.
It is. Kind of have a lot, I feel like.
Throw us one.
I love to read.
Yeah.
I love to bake or cook.
Nice.
I love movies.
Yeah.
I like to sew.
Lame movies. I'm just joking.
like
We actually
to-
like a lot of the same movies.
Yeah, we do.
Sewing. That's legit.
Yeah.
Puzzles.
I love puzzles.
You love puzzles.
I love music.
She loves music. Nice. That's legit.
I love
Making
going in
playlists.
search of a fun drink and then trying said fun drink.
Going in search of like going to a place.
Well, like, sometimes brands come out with new fun drinks and I'm like, oh, I want to try that.
Oh, got you. So you like go to stores and try to find the place where they're selling that thing.
Yeah.
Got it.
Did you watch that video I sent about the girl that said sherbet squirrel?
No. Wait, what?
I gotta
Did you
show
text
you.
it to me?
I think I sent it to you on TikTok. I was
Oh, I don't really check TikTok.
dying. But there's a new Alani flavor that comes out, I guess, in a few days. And I just the video came across my feed of this girl being like, Alani came out with a new flavor and it's called sherbet squirrel. And then she's like, sherbet squirrel. Alani came out with a new flavor and it's called sherbet squirrel. sherbet squirrel. And she does it so many times.
What the frick?
And she's like, SWIRF. Sherbet squirrel.
Swirl?
I was losing it. And so then I watched it with Kate and I sent it to Josie too. And we've all been like saying it or quoting it. And I mean, I was cracking up because she says it so many times knowing that it's wrong, but then just says the exact same thing so
crazy.
many times.
That's great.
It's so funny. I'll show you. But yeah, like I like going to find, like, I like trying things.
Yeah.
So
That's legit.
or like Poppy. Poppy came out with a new flavor. It's like, okay, I want to try it.
Hey, let's go.
So
Kiana's been buying the like
Alpine Forest.
yeah,
or
their
whatever.
version of Mountain Dew
Yeah.
from Aldi. But she thinks Aldi's about to stop carrying them, so she bought like 8 of them at once instead of her normal 4. And
That's
so we have
funny.
like a bunch in our fridge right now, but they'll be gone in like a day and a half. And
That's funny.
so yeah, it's probably our Poppy Alpine skiing days are over, I think. So. What is it called?
Alpine Forest? Maybe?
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, it would make sense.
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew, Alpine,
Drop.
rain. Mountain Dew, dew like dew on grass. Dew?
Yeah, it's
why?
not spelled.
Yeah. I guess that would make sense. It's like dew from the mountain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it should be like Alpine Mist. Wait, is it Alpine Mist?
Maybe it is.
Wait.
That was good.
Hold
It should
on.
be like Alpine Mist. Wait a second.
Wait, is it though?
I don't actually know what it's called.
Poppy Alpine Blast.
Blast.
They missed opportunity by not using mist.
Missed opportunity.
Nice.
It was not a blast opportunity. It was a missed opportunity.
No, they blasted right through the opportunity that they missed.
Nice.
All right. Well,
this episode is, I don't even know where we've gone, how we got here.
Blasted out of here.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Don't ignore the years of your adolescence.
Watch the show. Okay, bye. Goodbye. Stop it. All right, bye.